Audi have been carrying on lately about the new model they've just released, saying it'll take on the established player in the market and give people in that market everything that they want in a package that's more sophisticated and a better drive. Oh, and they also released the A7. I was of course referring to the A1 taking on the Mini, and in the shadow of that marketing and PR battle, the A7 Sportback has slipped quietly onto showroom floors. The simplest way to describe what this car is to say that it's like a big A5 on an A6 platform. But it gets more attention than most other Audis because it is, quite simply, magnificent looking. I thought Audi's designers would have a hard time topping the looks of the A5, but with the A7 they've at the very least equaled it. It's got R8 elements from the front, from the side it's all slippery and sexy, in the back, well, it's contentious. I like its less than subtle curves, but there will be those who hate it. I have a simple theory about car styling. If you can get the attention of the most jaded of people, those who deal with cars day in and day out, you've done something right. Among that group of people are petrol pump attendants, guys who are literally hands-on with just about every type of car on the road. When they get excited about something, like they did with the A7, it means the design stands out at the very least. But you don't have to be on the outside to appreciate what this car is about. Audi have tweaked their already superb interiors. They've got some new switchgear and a revised layout, and they've blended wood and leather and chrome and superb plastics in just the right amount so it comes together perfectly. The options list is long and healthy. To give you an idea, you can buy an A7 for less than 730,000 Rand, but once you've added the LED headlights, the sat-nav and the 19-inch wheels, you're well on your way to the total price of this car, which is just under 870,000 Rand, 77,000 Rand of which is made up by the best automotive sound system in the world from Bang & Olufsen. This interior is as comfortable as it is high-tech, including a very interesting bit that we featured recently in the A8. The trackpad. Now, when we tested the A8, we were in Germany in a left-hand drive car, which means I got to operate it with my right hand. But now we're the opposite way around. But far from being finicky, the system is almost faultless. You could have the handwriting of a doctor with a spastic left hand, and the system would still decipher what you're trying to say. So when you need to enter a phone number or sat-nav info or adjust the sound, it works just the way it should. Despite the A7's shape, there aren't any space issues in here, either for the driver or rear passenger, and the boot is massive. Not quite as big, but equally impressive is this, the 3-litre V6 supercharged motor with 220 kilowatts and 440 Newton meters. Now, I could carry on about the figures like it's 0 to 100 time of 5.6 seconds, but none of that will tell you just how good this is. It is immensely good, in a way that'll have all those engineering nerds excited when they get together to hand out the Best Engine of the Year awards. This supercharged motor almost always has the perfect amount of drivability. Quattro all-wheel drive means it's pretty handy around the corners too, although hardcore driving is not what the A7 is about. Yes, it's got good power and it's got decent grip, but it's all just a little bit disconnected. The steering feels too light and the rest of the feedback is just a little bit too numb, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for this kind of car. It just means that it shouldn't be your choice if you want to get your rocks off, in a driving sense. This car is for those who like feeling that they're being looked after behind the wheel. The engine delivers power when you command it to, the adjustable ride setup allows some measure of involvement, and people will point and stare when you drive past. So, a great engine, lots of comfort, top tech and some brilliant finishes. You'd think that this is the perfect cruiser, and it would be, if it weren't for the pedals. The accelerator is offset by quite a long way to the right, which means your leg spends most of its time cliff-hanging on the edge of the seat, and that gets a bit irritating after a while. No, the A7 isn't perfect, which is news that Mercedes-Benz will be happy to hear heading up to the launch of their new CLS. It's not the most involving Audi ever driven, but that's not to say it's a bad car. It dishes up the best technical parts available in the Audi factory in one of the best looking packages on the road. With a supercharged V6 under the bonnet and a 7-speed DSG as the interface, the A7 Sportback is swift and sophisticated in every respect. The styling is superb and the drivetrain ticks all the boxes, but perhaps the size counts against outright involvement, while the offset pedals can be awkward.